Hello everyone. Our today's topic is mechanism of hormone action. So we have to study how do various hormones perform their functions inside a living body. To understand the concept, you should first know that hormones they complete their actions after targeting the cells. When different hormones enter into the cell, after entering the cell, they cause or they bring some changes inside the cell. Those changes results in completion of that particular hormone's action. So let us study how this hormone action gets completed. To understand the concept, you should first know types of hormones. There are two types of hormones, water soluble hormone and some are lipid soluble hormone. Examples of water soluble hormones are all the protein hormones, all the amino acid derivatives hormone. These are water soluble hormones. So what is protein hormone we have done earlier, if you people know? So example of protein hormone is, the best example of protein hormone is insulin. So we will study how water soluble hormones, by taking the example of insulin, how do they enter the cell and complete their action. And lipid soluble hormones example are all the steroid hormones are lipid soluble hormone. An example of steroid hormones are sex hormones. Example, testosterone in male, estrogen and progesterone in females. Clear? So let us study in detail now action of water soluble hormones. So let us study in detail the action of water soluble hormones. These water soluble hormones have to enter inside the cell to complete their function. So this I have drawn is the plasma membrane of the cell. This is plasma membrane. These water soluble hormones like insulin cannot directly go inside the cell. To go inside the cell, it needs the help of some receptors which are found over the plasma membrane. So water soluble hormones complete their actions with the help of extracellular receptors. What are extracellular receptors? Extra means out, cellular is cell. So these are the receptors which lie outside the cell. So where have I located this receptor? Over the plasma membrane. So these receptors are extracellular receptors. Whenever any hormone target the cell, any water soluble hormone like protein, like insulin, when it targets the cell, it is received by the receptor, extracellular receptor located over the plasma membrane. So this receptor and a hormone results in the formation of a complex called hormonal receptor hormone receptor complex. What is the role of hormone receptor complex? This hormone receptor complex generates now second messengers, number of second messengers inside the cell. What was the first messenger? First messenger was insulin. We have already done in definition of hormones. What are hormones? These are the chemical messengers found in our body. So whenever any water soluble hormone has to do its function, it will first target the cell and it is received by the receptors found over the cell. So when receptors and hormone combine, it results in the formation of hormone receptor complex, and this complex further results in generation of some secondary messengers inside the cell. Now let us study what are those secondary messengers. This plasma membrane has three components. One is receptor, one is an enzyme I have mentioned, adenyl cyclase, and third is a protein called G protein. Plasma membrane has three components. One is receptor, one is G protein, one is adenyl cyclase. What is the function of receptor? We have done. It receives the first messenger, that is hormone, and forms a hormone receptor complex. What is the function of G protein? G protein has three components, alpha, beta and gamma. When receptors they receive the first messenger, when receptors they receive the hormone and they form hormone receptor complex. This hormone receptor complex combines with the alpha unit of the G protein. It combines with the alpha unit of the G protein. What combines with the alpha unit of G protein? And it activates the alpha protein, and thus this alpha protein, alpha unit, breaks up from its two remaining components, that is beta and gamma. And this activated alpha protein separates from the beta and gamma units. and then this activated alpha unit of a G protein, it converts GTP into GDP, right? This GDP and this separated beta and gamma unit, this separated beta and gamma unit are needed to activate the enzyme adenyl cyclase, which is earlier in inactivated form. The main function of G protein and its 3 units is to activate adenyl cyclase enzyme, which is located over the plasma membrane in an inactivated form. So beta and gamma units when separate and alpha units converts GTP into GDP, these beta and gamma unit move forward and combines with adenyl cyclase and converts into activated adenyl cyclase. So when activated alpha unit with the help of hormonal receptor complex, it combines with adenyl cyclase and converts inactivated adenyl cyclase into activated adenyl cyclase. This activated adenyl cyclase further converts inactivated AMP into activated AMP. AMP is adenosine monophosphate, which is found inside the cell already but in inactivated form. So it needs to be activated, right? So formation of activated AMP acts as a second messenger. This cyclic adenosine AMP, cyclic adenosine monophosphate, is a second messenger. It further activates inactivated kinase into activated kinase, and activated kinase activates another messenger, phosphorylase kinase, which is also inactivated earlier. So it gets activated in the presence of kinase, and activated phosphorylase kinase now activates glycogen phosphorylase, and this activated glycogen phosphorylase now converts glycogen into glucose, and end product which is to be formed in the hormone action is glucose only, and this glucose, when it is formed, it comes out of the body, right, or it is broken down and starts doing its own function. So this was all about water soluble hormones and how do these hormones act inside the cell. Instead of insulin, what is the function of insulin? Function of insulin is to break the glucose, right? And how is glucose formed in our body? This is when insulin is formed, it will act and combine with hormone with the receptor and will form hormone receptor complex. This hormone receptor complex will combine with the alpha unit of the G protein and will separate other remaining units, and this activated alpha unit of the G protein moves forward and activates adenyl cyclase. Activated adenyl cyclase forms cyclic adenosine monophosphate, which further forms kinase activated, further forms activated phosphorylase kinase, which further leads to the formation of activated glycogen phosphorylase, and this glycogen phosphorylase forms glucose and insulin acts upon the glucose or breaks. Or you can, instead of insulin, you can do here an example of adrenaline. Best example is to do here is adrenaline. What is the role of adrenaline? Adrenaline provides us energy during emergency situations. How does it provide energy during emergency situation? By breaking the glucose. And how does it targets upon the glucose? This is the entire concept we have studied. When glucose is formed, it comes out of the cell and then its action is done. So this is all about hormonal action of water soluble hormones. Next is hormone action of lipid soluble hormones. How do lipid soluble hormones enter inside the cell and complete their action, complete their function? These lipid soluble hormones do not require any extracellular receptors to enter inside the cell. Like the receptors which lie on the plasma membrane are not found or not needed in case of lipid soluble hormones. So let us study that with an example of testosterone, which is a lipid soluble hormone, steroid hormone. This hormone directly enters inside the cell, and inside the cell it needs some receptors inside the cell. So those receptors are intracellular receptors. It enters inside the cell directly with the help of intracellular receptors and targets the nucleus. Inside the nucleus, it affects the DNA of the cell. It affects the DNA of the cell, and when DNA is affected, what happens? So when they enter inside the cell, these hormones, suppose testosterone released, enter inside the cell, then from the cell it entered into the nucleus of the cell and targeted the DNA. it affects the DNA or stimulates the DNA to form RNA. When RNA is formed, the function of RNA is to take the information from the DNA to ribosomes. It takes the information to ribosomes, and with the inside the ribosome it forms various proteins, and these proteins bring the desired changes in our body. Let us take with the functions of testosterone. What are the functions of testosterone? Appearance of male-like character in male's body, like appearance of beard, mustaches. How do these appear? How do these things appear? When testosterone is released by the gland, it enters in the cell, and from the cell into the nucleus, and then combines with the DNA and stimulates the DNA to form RNA. RNA carries the information from the DNA because testosterone brings some changes in the DNA, and DNA copies the same changes to RNA, and RNA carries that same changed information to the ribosomes and stimulate the ribosomes to form proteins with the help of that information which RNA brings inside the ribosome. RNA's only function is to take the information from the DNA and give it to ribosome. So ribosome receives the information from the RNA and it forms proteins accordingly. And whatsoever proteins are formed, they bring the same changes. Means whatsoever character we see in our body, beard, mustaches, development of mammary gland, voice, high pitch, low pitch, height, skin, color of hair, color of texture of hair, texture of your skin, oily, dry, whatsoever shape of your fingers, hands, lips, nose, eyes, everything is character. And every character is because of some kind of proteins formed in our body. So we have done how are these proteins formed under the influence of some hormones. So we have just studied formation of some proteins under the influence of steroid hormones and how do these hormones work. So this was all about hormonal action. It gets over here.